Hey guys, how is everyone doing today? Welcome back to another Ghost and Glam video. If you are new to my channel, every Monday and Friday I sit down and I tell you guys a creepy, haunted, out of the ordinary, sometimes a murder story, while I get glam at the same time. So, if you are into that sort of vibe, then hit that subscribe button down below and join the spooky fam. And let's just start off right away. About, I don't know, maybe like a month ago, I got 2 stories requested to do, and they were more of shorter stories. So I wanted to put together like a little mini creepy story video. Well, I finally did some research and I got 2 more stories to go along with those ones. So that's what we're finally doing today. It's been a long time coming, but I'm finally doing it. So we're just jumping right into the first story, and the first story was sent to me by my friend Deidre. She does my hair, and she wanted me to do La Llorona. I know I'm saying that not right. I'm saying it the white girl way, and it's not good. But that is the first story that we are talking about today. La Llorona is like a really popular figure in the Latin American folklore. She was said to be a very beautiful woman. She was full of love and was super caring and everything. She was just a well-known good person. Very beautiful. She was always said to be wearing like a white long gown and had super long black hair. Just beautiful, you know? So her name was Maria. I don't know if this was like her God-given name or just a name that people have given her for the story. But she was said to not be like wealthy or anything. She kind of grew up really poor and was just from the lower class side of people. Well, even though she wasn't the richest person in town, men still like flocked after her because she was just gorgeous. Every man wanted to take a crack at her. But she had high standards, you know. She wanted to find a man that was equally as beautiful as her and matched her aesthetically. And she didn't give up until she found that man. Well, one day she finally did. He was a wealthy man, so different type of people. And she was said to play really hard to get and just kind of like flaunted herself in front of him and, you know, just like to play little flirty games with him. Well, he didn't give up on her. He actually won her over and the two got married. Yay. And because he was so wealthy, he pretty much just like lavished her in gifts all the time, just spoiled her rotten. He gave her like his undivided attention all the time. Just seemed like an all-around good man. They ended up having 2 sons, and I mean, everything seemed perfectly fine. Everything was going good. They were happy, living the dream. But then her husband kind of started to like veer off the trail, you know. He lived a different life before he met her. He was kind of like a wild child, was always out partying and just, he loved his women, and he was really starting to miss this side of his life that he had before her. And this dumbass started acting on it. He would start to like look at other women, and he would start to mistreat Maria, just being a straight up douchebag. And he was said to often leave Maria all the time with the kids, just leave her for months at a time without even saying anything or giving an explanation. He just up and left. One day, Maria was out with the children on a walk, and her husband went past her in like a really nice carriage with another woman who was like super elegant looking, you know, so Maria was like self-conscious about this. But she was super elegant looking, and he ended up stopping the carriage, and he was talking to his children, but completely ignored Maria. Said not one single thing to her. Just completely ignored her. And then he just went on his merry way with this other woman. So this clearly pissed off Maria. Okay, I mean, she got in like a huge fit of rage, which I'm sure any of us would do the same thing. I mean, not what she did, but get really, really pissed off at this. Well, she decided to take it to like a whole other level, okay? she took it a little bit too far. She ended up throwing her kids into a nearby creek and they drowned. Like the current took them and they drowned and their bodies went downstream. Well, by the time Maria noticed what had happened, she started freaking out and was like, what did I do? Like, how could I have done this? And blah, blah, blah. And she tried to save them, but their bodies were already gone with the water. There was no saving them. And after realizing what she did, she decided to drown herself and commit suicide. Well, it's said that after she did this and she died, that she was rejected by heaven, pretty much, because of what she did, and that she couldn't come to heaven unless she had her children with her. So she was damned back to earth, always in search of her children that she would never find because they're probably like in heaven, you know. So she was just doomed to walk the earth forever searching. Her spirit is said to walk up and down like many different rivers, just weeping and wailing for her children. This is how she got the name the Weeping Woman, because she's just crying and searching for her kids, but she's never gonna find them. It's so sad. So people would obviously hear her doing this at night, and then they started to get really scared to go out because, like, I would be scared too if I heard some weeping and wailing in the night. I'm like, what the hell is going on out there? You know, I wouldn't want to go outside. She's also been seen like drifting between the trees on the river and just kind of floating by, and her dress is like spread out all across the water, and then she'll just vanish. There's two different like legends around La Llorona, one of them being that anyone that's brave enough that sees her to get close to her, it doesn't matter if you're a man, a woman, or a child, that she will basically just take you with her. Like, she doesn't discriminate. I shouldn't be laughing, I'm scared. Other legends say that if you're a child and you're like bad and rotten and mean, that she will come and take you as well. So there's like a couple of different like variations with her. But if you're a bad child, you better watch out or she gonna get you. One local man said that when he was a child, he and his family were kind of just sitting outside near the river, and they saw a woman in a white gown walking the riverbed, like just walking up and down next to the river. And then she just kind of disappeared. Well, then they saw her again, but she appeared much closer this time. And then again, she just disappeared, like with a blink of an eye. Well, then the family went to go see if there was any footprints around the area, and they didn't find any. So people basically believe that she is always going to be around, and she's always going to be taunting people, and you're always going to hear her weeping and wailing for her children. And that is the story of La Llorona. Pretty creepy story, not gonna lie. And my parents told me that when I was a kid. I would be a good child. I was a good kid, but still. I would have freaked out. So, moving on to the next story. This one is called The Corpse Bride. And this was asked of me to do by Carissa. So I'm finally doing it. What up, girl? Hey. It comes to no surprise that mannequins in general are just super creepy, right? I mean, I don't know about you, but I have bumped into one in a store, and no joke, I thought it was a person, and I was like, oh, sorry. And then, no, it's a freaking mannequin. They're just so creepy. Well, one specific mannequin in the town of Chihuahua, Mexico, has been the talk of the town for years. In the window of a small bridal shop in Chihuahua, Mexico, stands a mannequin that people strongly believe is a corpse. A very well embalmed corpse. The mannequin has been on display for more than 90 years. It's been there for a very long time. And this isn't like any other mannequin. Okay, this thing is so lifelike. It's so creepy. I mean, the color of the skin on this thing is lifelike. The hands on it are like worn out, and there's wrinkles, and there's veins on the hands. Oh, this thing is so creepy. It has like very realistic looking hair. The mannequin has fingernails. Your baby has fingernails. And they're like worn out and just, oh, like it needs a manicure. You know what I'm saying? Manicure. Mannequin. I'll go home. But anyways, they're just like, it looks so real. Ugh, obviously I'm going to insert pictures of this thing because my God, it is so creepy. The mannequin got the name La Pascualita. I know I'm saying that wrong too. Don't come for me. And this thing grabbed the attention of everybody. People that were walking by, the employees didn't like this thing. Nobody liked it. And it drew a lot of attention to the store. And people were coming from all around to see this freaking mannequin. Well, here's where it gets kind of weird, okay? So the owner, the one that put up the mannequin, she had a daughter, and her daughter actually ended up passing away the day of her wedding from a black widow spider bite. How tragic is that? What's weird is that soon after her daughter's death, this is when the mannequin went up. And people say that the mannequin resembles her daughter a lot. And it actually really does. It looks so much like her daughter. It's creepy. So she was like always questioned about it. You know, is this your daughter? Did you really put her body up into a window on display? And of course she denied everything. She was like, no, it's just a really well-made mannequin. But I'm sorry, I've never seen a mannequin that well made. Like that thing is so lifelike. It's honestly just, oh, it's so creepy. Some people believe that the woman of the bridal store put up the mannequin in a dress that's supposedly like her daughter in order for her daughter to be the bride that she was meant to be. It's honestly really, really sad, but that's what people believe, even though she just denies it like through and through. That's what people think that she did. I mean, who knows? Either way, it's just odd. When people shop at the store, they say that they see her eyes like following them around the store, which is kind of weird because she's facing the window, so I don't know how that would be. But unless she's like turning like this. But I'm pretty sure if you saw a mannequin turn like that, you wouldn't be in that store anymore. I know I wouldn't. I'd book it out of there. The employees there even say that they're very uncomfortable when they have to like dress her in a new gown. And one employee said that when she even goes near her, that her hands start to sweat and she just gets really, really anxious and just does not like it at all. When she's dressing her in a new gown, she stated that the mannequin has varicose veins on its legs. Okay, well, I've never seen a mannequin with varicose veins, have you? So no one really knows, like, if the mannequin is really the corpse of her daughter. Some say that there's just no way that a corpse that is embalmed could last that long in Mexico heat. Others still strongly believe that it is her daughter. I don't know. Nobody really knows. So the current owner of the store, because the original owner passed away, he keeps the whole legend alive. So people still come all around to see this mannequin. And when they ask him, you know, is it real? He'll just wink at them and then he'll say, is it true? I really couldn't say. And then that's it. That's all he says. So of course people are like really intrigued, you know, I would be. But it's also said that when he has to change the mannequin into like a new gown or something, that he closes the curtains in order to keep her dignity and her modesty. So maybe he believes it too, or he's just doing it for like show. You know what I'm saying? But still, to this day, nobody knows if that mannequin is actually a corpse or not. So what do you think? Do you think it's actually a corpse? I don't know. Either way, that's the story of the corpse bride. Ugh, that one like freaks me out so bad. Like, I don't know, just the realism of this mannequin. I've never seen one look that real before. So it's kind of hard to believe that she's not really a corpse. But also, how would she stay perfectly embalmed like that for so many years? You know, it just kind of seems a little unlikely. But just the look of this freaking thing, it kind of makes you double think yourself. Okay, so the next story. It's called the 100 Steps Cemetery. So in Brazil, Indiana, there's a cemetery known as the 100 Steps Cemetery. Duh. It houses headstones dated back from the 1860s. And the reason it got its name is because apparently there's 100 cracked like stone steps leading up to an open field, and that's where the cemetery is, where like all the headstones are. So you gotta walk up like 100 freaking steps to get to this dang cemetery. Well, legend has it that if you are brave enough to take the midnight stroll by yourself up these steps, and you're supposed to count them, and once you get to the top to the open field, the undertaker that first ever worked there will greet you at the top. He will basically not say anything to you, but he'll show you like a vision of how you're going to die. No, thank you. I'll pass. So once he shows you the vision of how you're going to die, he basically just kind of leaves you alone and vanishes. And then what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to go back down the steps, counting them again, and if you get a different number than what you started with, then you're going to die in the way that he showed you. It doesn't say when you're going to die, just that you're going to die. And if you get the correct number that you came up with, then you're good to go. It was just a false prophecy. You're fine. One legend says that if you try and trick the undertaker and you walk on the grass next to the steps, that once you reach the top, some sort of force will come and knock you down, and it leaves a really bright red handprint somewhere on your body, and you'll basically be able to see it for days. There's a story of a man named George West, and he had a daughter that passed away, and she was buried in the cemetery. But she was taken from her grave, and when they found her again, I guess, I don't know, this part kind of confused me. George ended up having his daughter's body exhumed and then moved to another cemetery. Well, this is where it's kind of weird and confusing. He found that her coffin was turned upside down in the ground and her body wasn't there. But that's where I'm a little confused, because if her body's already out of the grave, I don't know. You guys know how, like, why that's confusing, right? I don't know. Is it just me? Probably. So if you're brave enough to go up the steps of 100 Step Cemetery, have a good time. Let me know if you see how you're going to die. But that is the story of the 100 Step Cemetery. Do you believe in it? I don't know if I do. That one was kind of like a doozy. I don't know. Okay, so the last and final story. Now, like I said in the beginning, this one isn't like a haunted ghost story or anything like that. But it is still like really intriguing. I don't know. I like came across this last night and I was like, that is so freaking crazy. So I had to tell you guys. So this is a story of the Jim twins. They were given up for adoption and then they ended up being separated. Well, they were adopted by different families, and one brother was told that the other brother had died. And then the other brother had no interest in trying to meet the other brother. I know this is kind of like confusing, but... Well, it gets so weird, okay? Both families that adopted the twins, both named them James. Well, over the years, one of the brothers wanted to track down the other brother when they were 37 years old. And they were like talking on the phone for a while, kind of getting to know each other a little bit. And then they finally decided to meet up. And they never looked back since. They said it was like the best day of their lives. They said it was like the best choice that they've ever made in their life. They became really, really close. Well, then they started to kind of like talk to each other about more personal things and what they did with their lives and stuff like that. Well, this is where it gets freaking weird. Both twins had a dog when they were little boys, and they both named their dog Toy. Okay, first off, who names their dog Toy? Not like it's a bad name, but it's not like a common name. I've never heard someone name their dog Toy. But the fact that they both named their childhood dogs Toy, that's so weird. They were both married twice. The first marriage, they both married a woman named Linda. Two separate women, but both of their names were Linda. Oh, but it gets weirder. They both divorced their Lindas, remarried again, and they both remarried a woman named Betty. Both of their wives' names was Betty. How is that even real? I don't get it. But wait, there's more. So they both had sons, which is even stranger. They both had sons. But the weirder part of it is they both named their sons James Allen. How is that even how? That is insane. And they both were adopted by families in Ohio, and they grew up 45 minutes away from each other. They were so close all these years. They were both chain smokers. They both really enjoyed beer. They both had woodworking shops in their garages. They both drove Chevys. Like, obviously that's kind of just like typical man things. But just the fact that they had all of that the same, including their lives were pretty much the same, is just unbelievable. It's crazy. And both of them were sheriffs in different Ohio counties. They were both cops. So of course, when word got out about this, doctors instantly wanted to like do tests on them and see how their brains work and everything. Well, one doctor said that their brain waves were so identical that the same person may as well have been taking the same test twice. That's how close in similarity they were. Like, oh my God. So a lot of people now, they use them as the example that twins have like telepathic tendencies, that they can just sense what the other twin is going through or doing or anything like that. But still, like, how crazy is that? Like, that is insane. They both have the same name. They named their sons the exact same name. They married women of the same name twice. Like, it doesn't get any weirder than that. Such a trip. But anyways, that is the story of the Jim twins. And that finishes my little mini spooky story time. What did you guys think? I want to know in the comments down below, what story tripped you out the most? That's what I want to know. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. I liked kind of doing these little mini stories. It was actually really fun. I might have to do some more of these because there's actually like a lot of stories out there that are smaller. I'm thinking about doing like an urban legends that turned out to be true type of story, just putting a bunch of them together. I don't know, like this video if that's something you would want me to do. But other than that, that is all I have for you guys today. I really hope you liked this video. If you did, don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. Also, I announced my new merch. That link will be in the description box down below, so don't forget to come and support your girl, okay? But I have nothing else to say except I love you guys, and I will see you in the next haunted video. Bye!